Hey guys, welcome back to another Indiana Jones toy review, and we'll be taking a look at two deluxe figure sets, one from Last Crusade and one from Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first one, we're taking a look at the one from the Last Crusade, which is the two-pack that came with the German soldier and the motorcycle. Definitely a pick that I was going to choose because not only I would love to own a motorcycle from the Last Crusade, or at least one of them, but this is the same one driven by the German soldier in the film, even though this looks like it was supposed to be tailor-made for a sidecar to be installed on the other side because there is a peg hole right there. Does it have a screw hole? I don't think it does, but it's intended to have a sidecar for Indiana Jones and his father to ride on, and it's a darn shame that we don't really have that at all. Even the new wave of Indiana Jones toys based on Dial of Destiny, which there is no 3¾ inch figures of, but they did produce a motorcycle with a sidecar, but it was just for 2.5 inch figures, and it just sucked in my opinion. I was very disappointed. So I had to get this, and someday I will try to at least find a motorcycle for Indy and Henry to ride in with the sidecar and all that. I will try to at least track one down or figure something out. So, but that ran out the way. That was one of the reasons why I bought this German two-pack. Obviously, not only this is to build up my German army, but to reenact Last Crusade and collect these figures for future films. Anyway, so here is the close-up of the German soldier here, and let's go ahead and take off his removable helmet, which does look pretty nice. And the head sculpt on the German character here kind of looks similar to this guy. If I had to push it up here, almost similar to this guy, but it just got better eye paint, and the hair definitely looks very German. Don't really see if it has blue eyes. Oh wait, it has blue eyes. Almost the same as this figure then. So basically these two are like identical, like twins or something. Anyway, but that is how the head sculpt looks. I'm not sure who it's supposed to represent, but it's pretty nice for how he sculpted. And the outfit he's wearing is basically pretty accurate to how he looks in The Last Crusade, or at least if you don't know how he looks like from underneath this removable helmet that comes with the goggles sculpted on. And it is nicely painted too. It's not terrible. It's got that nice shine to it. Let's go ahead and put it back on him. And it fits in like a glove. So of course this outfit is nicely detailed. And this is like the only portion of the figure that is cloth, which is really nice. Also, not just only being a nice figure in terms of its sculpt, but it does have a really cool sculpted holster. And I figured that the working holster was a thing on here because I see the Luger inside. So I just lift that up, and then you see the German Luger right there in his holster nicely. It's the same Luger that Henry Jones Sr. came with. Yeah, he's got some nicely sculpted details over here and some equipment on that belt. Looks really, really cool. And over here he has his machine gun, similar to the machine guns that the Germans carry in these movies. But this one's got a sculpted strap on so he can hold on to it. You can flip over the cloth area. We can see his legs, how they're sculpted on. Definitely pretty nice, nicely detailed. And it's also got the ankle hinges on here, much like the rocket launcher Indiana Jones from the Lost Wave that I reviewed. All in all, he is definitely a very nice army building kind of character. Very nice figure. But of course, this is the only Last Crusade German figure other than Colonel Vogel in the basic set, which I also got, which is coming soon. Yeah, I really am trying to complete my Last Crusade collection as well because I really love Last Crusade. And this is the German soldier from the Last Crusade. Definitely a nice figure, really nicely detailed. And here's the motorcycle, which is one of the best looking motorcycles I've ever had so far. It definitely represents a motorcycle from the Last Crusade. It does. I'm not sure if this is supposed to look like this, but I guess it is what it is. But it's got some nicely sculpted details on here. Looks really incredible from the angle and the color grading. Like the airbrushing on here from the green to the brown. Looks really nice. Again, it's a nicely sculpted motorbike. And it's even got these like separate wires that are attached to the handle brakes and everything. And wonder what this is underneath, but it rotates. Wonder what that's supposed to be. It does got this, the hinge that can go around to set the motorcycle up for display, or just lift it up and it's not there underneath. Again, it is nicely sculpted, and it's even got some paint on the belt buckles from under here. Just overall, a very cool looking vehicle. Just only wish that they made one with a sidecar. We wouldn't have the issue of finding separate alternatives, which are obviously very difficult at this point. Other than that, this is a really nice motorcycle. Enough of me ranting about it. I just really am glad that I finally have a motorcycle from the Last Crusade, and also this figure alongside. Also, didn't meant to show this one off that much, but here he is on the motorcycle, and he does fit very nicely on it, of course. And I got him posed up with his Luger out of his holster and everything. Can't really have him holding the machine gun because the strap is obviously very, sculpted upward. And having him hold the machine gun up while the strap is up like that will be looking very awkward. But yeah, basically how he looks on the motorcycle. Looks pretty cool on it. He's getting ready to be defeated by Indiana Jones soon, so he's not going to be quick enough to shoot. That's basically it for this. It's just a really nice figure. Don't have to go anywhere deep. This is basically just a basic yet very fun figure set. It's also really good for army building or whatever. Really could have been cool if we gotten a motorcycle set with a sidecar for Indy and Henry. But then again, that was 2008. That was 15 years ago. It's already too late for that. What a shame. Anyways, moving on to the next deluxe figure and the change of setting. There we go. Wait, hold on. One more thing. There, much better. Anyways, here is the next deluxe figure I have, which is the Indiana Jones figure with the Ark of the Covenant. I teased this before that I had already bought this set, and now here it is. And this is one of the sets I really also wanted, not just for the Ark, but because of the Indy figure in general. It's a really nice looking figure. So looking at the package is basically the standard deluxe looking setting with a different backdrop this time featuring the map room from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And don't have to go over too much over the aesthetic because I absolutely still love the aesthetic of the package and how it looks. In the back, we have Harrison Ford up here in his disguise. We're going into the map room. And then we have a bio of the scene in general and the other figures you can collect in line, which we all reviewed now. Also, mean to mention this, but today is Harrison Ford's birthday, his 81st birthday, and I'm just happen to film this right as, well, the day is about to end, but at the same time, just gotta say it, it's been incredible to see Harrison Ford return as Indiana Jones, and it's also been incredible to constantly see Harrison Ford in action, doing what he does best, and it's really freaking wonderful that he is still here to this day. Happy birthday, Harrison Ford. So that is it for the package of this figure. Don't have to go too much into it, and enough of my sentimental remarks on Harrison Ford, but he's the man. Anyways, let's get this out the package now. Alrighty, so we have Indiana Jones in his map room disguise and with the Ark of the Covenant out of the package. And of course, obviously very nice set, and the figure in general is really cool looking, at least in my opinion. Really like the way his whole robe is entirely cloth. Though I will also say that the head sculpt, even though I still see Harrison Ford's likeness, is a little bit iffy on the paint. Just gonna go ahead and jump right into the figure. The iffy paint does kind of it makes it look a little cartoonish, but at the same time, I don't really think it looks terrible. I mean, it looks a little goofy, but of course, I see Harrison Ford's likeness right there in that face. It's just that the paint makes it look a little rushed, I guess. And the way the robes sculpt in general, the way it's painted in, doesn't really match entirely to the color of the suit. Even though that's just a little nitpick right there, I do think that the head sculpt, without looking into the paint, is pretty nice. And it's nicely detailed. And if I were to go over the body of the figure, of course, the body is a repackage, is sort of repaint of the rocket launcher Indiana Jones from the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which we'll get into. Because essentially the whole figure is dressed up in this robe, which is a very nice fabric and cloth. And it's got a satchel bag, which has a brown strap this time instead of a green strap, with most of my figures having mostly green straps. Based on, I guess it's based on Crystal Skull, because most of the figures have brown straps to match the original satchel that he comes with in Raiders. So let's go ahead and take off the robe and see what he looks like from underneath. So now we take this robe out right here, and here is the figure without the robe. Again, same body as this figure, which I've already addressed. This is a custom figure beforehand, And this is my custom Raiders Indiana Jones. So like I said before, same body, but this one actually comes with a sweat detail, and the holster is more Raiders related, because this one I took a Temple of Doom holster and like strapped it on here to make it look more like a Raiders Indy, but obviously it's different looking. So maybe I can be able to switch this up. Overall, this is a nice figure, but it's definitely much more nicer to have like a Raiders style look to it, because it's got the sweat detail on the shirt, and this one is obviously a lot more cleaner. Because again, most of the Indiana Jones like looks when it comes to Harrison Ford out in the desert or out in the field, like in Crystal Skull, he's definitely sweaty. So the sweat detail is much more accurate. And of course, after kit bashing, this is how my Temple of Doom head fits on the body of now much more accurate looking Cairo Indy. Though I will say that this one, like in terms of the joint, it does make it a little bit looser than the joint on the rocket launcher Indy. But I will say, at least it's better when he's looking down. It's actually kind of strange that he looks down a little bit more. I guess the neck might be a different looking sculpt, but it is the same figure regardless. So this does look pretty nice. I guess I'll get to keep it like this for now. Because now I put Rocket Launcher Indy body on this one. And I will say on this, it's much more tighter. Don't think he might be able to look down, but he can still look up and all that. Oops. Oh, well, I dropped that and the gun fell off him. But yeah, you see what the deal is. Like, they obviously can switch heads. I always like doing the head swapping maneuver every time when I get some of these figures. So yeah, they both look pretty good. But of course, I have this one with a different head. So now we have a much better looking Raiders Indiana Jones, for me at least, to having a much more accurate look to it. So yeah, that's both the figures. I'm going to move them aside and move the revolver out the way. Anyway, now let's go ahead and look at the very highly detailed Ark of the Covenant. It is really highly detailed. It just looks really cool. It's all in one paint, so I don't think there's any more additional features. And of course, it doesn't have any clasp or like two canes to fit alongside it so they can look like they could be holding up the Ark. But the Ark of the Covenant is here, and it also can open up, so you can probably store some stuff in there or not. But it looks like there's sand underneath, because it looks like they textured it from underneath. So that looks pretty nice. And it can close right back up. But yes, the Ark of the Covenant is looking just as film accurate as you can get from the Ark of the Covenant. It's also, the top parts are made out of a rubbery plastic. Everything else is basically a harder plastic. It's just an overall nice looking representation of the Ark of the Covenant with carvings and all that. Just looking exactly like it looks, and it's very shiny too. Very cool looking as far as I'm concerned. It's a nicely sculpted Ark. Just really, really good to have my hands on the Ark of the Covenant in this form. So yeah, that's basically it. That's just basically it for this. Just a very nice looking Indiana Jones figure, though I switched the body out because I kind of wanted like this now for my Raiders Indiana Jones. Just looks, well, I'll just keep it in frame. Also, we'll mention there is one missed opportunity about this figure. He doesn't come with the Staff of Ra. He doesn't really come with that entirely, so they could actually match, like, you know, the setting of the map room, or we could have come with a map room playset. It's already a 15-year-old toy line, and Kenner already produced a playset, the map room, and had an actual Staff of Ra accessory. Well, it is what it is. So that's going to be it for this dual review of the Deluxe Indiana Jones with the Ark and German Soldier with motorcycle. Both figure sets are pretty nice, obviously, for the collection of my Indiana Jones figures that I'm collecting right now. And it's really good to finally have these figures, especially the Indiana Jones figure with the Ark. I've already switched the body out, and I'm already stuck with my now new custom Cairo Indy, which I will put in the background. But yeah, basically really fun sets, and just really cool to have the Ark of the Covenant along. And hopefully someday I will figure out a way to get a motorcycle with a sidecar. It might not be from Hasbro or whatever. That's basically it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll definitely be making more Indiana Jones figure reviews coming soon, because I definitely collected a few more, and I'm also aiming towards completing like the Cairo exclusive like figures in general, because I definitely love the Cairo scene in general, the Cairo basket game, fight scene, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely one of my favorite moments of Raiders, so I'm definitely getting towards completing that. So I hope you guys enjoy this review, and I'll be seeing you guys later.